in this wrench. This is a 9/16 manifold slash starter 5/8 on this end, 9/16 on this end. Nice little wrench to have to get around the back side of that starter, or I guess also on manifolds. But that'll go in the toolbox. Nice brush, just for, you know, I can see this coming in real handy, just sweeping off chips on the old Wells Index maybe. I believe that's a real China bristle brush. So I spotted that and I said, hey, I'd like to have that. Up on the shelf where all of the chemicals and everything were, nobody paid any attention to the stuff that was up there, but I always look for deals like this, for instance. I mean, they may have even given me this. I checked, it is not bad. It is in still primo shape, and if you go to buy a container this large of Permatex thread sealant with Teflon, I don't remember how much it cost me last time I bought some of this, and it was a smaller container than this, but I guarantee you that the buck I probably paid for that at the yard sale was a deal. This also belonged to Joe. A brand new unused fuel filter, G382A fuel filter. I have no idea what this fits, but it was brand new, unused, and I thought, hey, you know what, at some point maybe I'll have a tractor or something that I feel like putting a fuel filter on, and I'll use this. And judging by the way I just blew through it, I don't think I have to worry about it needing a lot of pressure, so I might even be able to use this on a gravity feed system, I don't know. Marvel lubricating oil, about half full. Probably got that for free, just so they wouldn't have to throw it out. And an almost full gallon of Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. Stops dry starch, yada yada yada. I've seen this on the shelf at Napa. I want to say I think this is 28 bucks for this gallon. So, matter of fact, sticker's still on it. Who's that from? Auto Plus, $29.99. 30 bucks for that you paid. I don't know how much is in there. It's up to here. I got that for $1. Battery tester. Probably a cheapo Harbor Freight deal. Actually, it says right on it, Harbor Freight Tools. Cheapo battery tester from Harbor Freight. But I don't have one like this. I just use a voltmeter, but that's not really a good test. This is got the resistors in it, so you can do a load test on the battery. And they had, this thing looks brand new. Okay, Chicago Electric Power Tools. Yeah, that's a Harbor Freight deal if I ever seen one. 50 amp load, battery, blah blah blah. It's got paperwork and a bubble wrap that was shipped in. They had 10 bucks on it. I got it for $5. They had a case with a almost brand new looking air hammer or air chisel set with 3 or 4 chisels in it in the plastic case. Or actually it was a metal case, but it was a cheaper, like Chicago Pneumatic or one of those companies there. They had 40 bucks on that. You know, that might have been a little pricey. I probably could have got that for 20, but I even passed on that. I missed the cheap. I looked down in the bucket on the ground and I see some air tools in there, and I fish out this old sucker here. This is a Rodac made in USA. Have no idea if it works, but that's the beauty of it. See, it didn't even have an adapter on it. So when I didn't want to buy that one for 20, or didn't want to cut a deal on that one, I said to the guy, I says, I'll give you $3 of this. And he's like, oh, I was thinking that's at least 10. I said, you don't even know if it works. He said, well, try it on the compressor. And then I pointed out no adapter, and he's like, yeah, okay. So I think I got this for $3 if I'm not mistaken. If it works, then I just got to get some chisels for it. And if it doesn't work, well, then that was a $3 gamble that didn't pay off. But I like the Made in USA stuff. But I'm not familiar with that one there. Rodac, R-O-D-A-C, model 210A. So I'd be interested to see if that works. I'd get one of my adapters and try it tonight, but the kids are already asleep. So now it's around 12 o'clock, and things are really starting to wind down, and I'm like one of the few people even left at this sale. So I mosey on back into the room where the lathe was, and I go back and grab a couple of things that I had thought about asking about, but I was too worried about what they would want for them. So I ended up picking out, had a tray there with a bunch of stuff in it, and amongst it was these little treasures right here. Here's a chuck that I think, if I recall correctly, I remember seeing it's a Jacobs chuck. Oh, my mistake. This is an Etco, E-T-T-C-O, number 3.5-AB, 1/8 to 5/8. But what caught my eye is it's even though it needs a little bit of work, it's I believe it's a keyless chuck. It's funny because it's got the holes there, but its problem right now is nobody's done anything with it in a long, long time, and actually what's actually turning is, I think the taper's actually coming up. I think I got that for $2 because I knew I was taking a big chance on it. Yeah, it's going to need some love. Then there's this one. This is the Jacobs, yeah, this is a Jacobs chuck, and this one still works, and it had the key. I believe that's the right key. I think I already checked. Yep. So that's a Jacobs, and it's in, I don't know what the size taper is on it, but it's in a big adapter, and I think I got that for $5. And then this horribly mistreated thing, at one point in its life, was actually what I think is was a pretty nice live center. It still turns, it just turns really nastily. But I think I can clean this up, and I'd be willing to bet that there's a way to get this thing to unscrew, to open this up and clean this all out and re-lubricate it. And that might be a nice little treasure to have for one of my lathes. I don't know. I think I paid $5 for that. That might just end up being a complete waste of money. That's in pretty rough shape, but I don't know. It's it is what it is. We'll call this the epilogue for the estate sale videos series, because I was just putting some stuff away and was looking at this big chuck that I bought and realized that this was a big Morse Taper adapter that this was in. So I used one of my new wedges, number 3 fit in there perfect. Knocked this out. Looks like this says 3-5 MT. So I think that means that this is a number 3 up to a number 5. So that's a neat adapter to have. And then I got that out. I'm looking at this. I'm seeing another hole here. I'm thinking there's actually that this is another adapter on here. So Let's see what size that would be. Maybe one of these small ones. What I found on these is it seems like putting the straight edge side facing what you want to push out seems to be the way to do these. I don't know if it really matters, but I've had better success doing it this way. Yeah, that worked. That's the number one. There we go. So this actually looked like a big, huge chuck with that double adapter set up on it. But so now I'm lousy with Morse Taper adapters.